We are Hoop Central, and these are some of the NBA's best underdog stories. The NBA is a place where stars shine bright, but behind many of those stars are underdog stories that define their careers and captivate fans. The path to greatness is rarely straightforward, and for some players, the journey has been fueled by doubt, perseverance, and a relentless drive to prove the world wrong. And that is exactly what they have done. It's time to celebrate the stars who were written off and counted out. Here's to the underdogs. First, we have Damian Lillard. His rise to NBA stardom is a classic example of an underdog story. Coming out of Oakland, California, Lillard was overlooked by major college programs and ended up playing at Weber State, a small school in Utah that's better known for skiing than basketball. While other top prospects were making headlines at Duke and Kentucky, Lillard was quietly torching defenses in the Big Sky Conference. Despite his college dominance, scouts doubted whether his skills would translate to the NBA. Who has he played against? Was a common refrain, but the Portland Trail Blazers didn't listen to that, and they saw something special when they selected him as the 6th pick in the 2012 NBA Draft. That was all Dame needed. He wasted no time proving his doubters wrong, winning Rookie of the Year and establishing himself as one of the league's premier clutch performers. Lillard's underdog spirit is perhaps best encapsulated in his unforgettable playoff moments. Who could forget his series-winning buzzer beaters against the Houston Rockets in 2014 and the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2019? That deep three over Paul George was the ultimate mic drop. A shot that not only sent the Thunder packing, also silenced any remaining doubters of his superstar status. In the years since, Lillard has moved on to the Milwaukee Bucks, where he is now putting up more than 25 points a game, even as he nears 35 years old. They thought he couldn't do it, but Dame Dollar has been worth every cent. Hold up. Before we dive into that next player, do us a quick favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us bring you more epic NBA content. Trust us, you won't regret it. Up next, we have Dwayne Wade. His journey to NBA greatness is another tale of perseverance. Growing up in Chicago, Wade faced significant personal challenges, including a difficult home life and academic struggles that hindered his recruitment. Because of that, he ended up at Marquette University, far from the spotlight of college basketball's powerhouses. He was overlooked by just about everyone, especially by the NBA, which already had its fair share of guards to choose from.
Junior guard, Marquette University. Our goal is to get to New Orleans, and no one's going to get in our way.
Zotko to the basket, rejected by Wade. He came out of nowhere.
Is that switching man-to-man by...
Even at Marquette, Wade wasn't an overnight sensation. It wasn't until his junior year, when he led the Golden Eagles to the Final Four with a triple-double against Kentucky, that he started turning heads. The Miami Heat took a chance on Wade with the 5th pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, a class dominated by names like LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Chris Bosh.
26, 2003 draft day. How did February 2nd, 2002 better prepare you for this day?
It made me more mature. My son was born on that day, and my son was born.
Wade quickly proved he belonged. By his 3rd season, he was an NBA champion, leading the Heat to a stunning comeback against the Dallas Mavericks in the 2006 Finals. Wade averaged 34.7 points per game in that series, earning Finals MVP and solidifying his place among the game's elite. His nickname, Flash, perfectly encapsulated his quick rise and electrifying playing style. Wade's story is a reminder that it's not where you start, but where you finish. Steph Curry. They used to say he was too small, and now basketball analysts say that Steph Curry is just too good. Steph's underdog story is one of the most iconic in NBA history, and will be talked about for decades to come.
I was always the smallest kid on my team. You know that, seeing it as a young kid, you see looking around, everybody's got big arms, and like comparing yourself to them, and you're like, I'm not there yet, but there's something I can do on the floor to hopefully help my team.
Despite the fact that basketball greatness runs in his veins, his dad Dell was a respected NBA sharpshooter after all, Steph was considered too small and too frail to succeed at the highest level. He wasn't heavily recruited out of high school and ended up at Davidson College, a small school that rarely made waves in March Madness. The chances of him having a career anything like his dad's seemed slim. When he did submit himself for the draft, a lot of analysts and insiders said that he was just too darn small to ball. Even after being drafted 7th overall by the Golden State Warriors in 2009, the doubts persisted. People felt he just didn't have what it takes.
47 different starting lineups. Here's the commissioner.
With the 7th pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
Early in his career, ankle injuries threatened to derail his potential, and some wondered if he'd ever live up to his draft position. Well, we all know what happened next. Curry revolutionized basketball with his shooting ability and became the face of the Warriors dynasty while winning back-to-back MVPs in 2015 and 2016.
The first unanimous MVP in NBA history, the 2015-16 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player, Stephen Curry.
His 2016 season, where he became the first unanimous MVP in NBA history, was a masterclass in defying expectations. Years later, he earned the most three-pointers in league history and is considered one of the greatest point guards ever, along with Magic Johnson. Like everyone else on this list, many so-called experts thought Curry's career wouldn't last. His story is a testament to the power of belief, impact of changing the game on your own terms. And who could forget Jeremy Lin? No discussion of NBA underdog stories is complete without Jeremy Lin. Undrafted out of Harvard, Lin bounced around the league and the G League, struggling to find a permanent spot on a roster. In 2012, as a member of the New York Knicks, Lin was on the verge of being cut yet again when injuries forced the team to give him a shot. What followed was a meteoric rise that captured the imagination of basketball fans worldwide. In a stretch of games that became known as Linsanity, Lin averaged 27.3 points and 8.3 assists, including a game-winning three against the Toronto Raptors.
5, 4, Lynn for the win! Got it! You must hold the Lakers to one shot.
Lynn will shoot again. Knocks it down. A two-pointer for Jeremy Lin. Lynn puts it up. Puts it in.
Madison Square Garden erupted every time Lin touched the ball, and he became a global sensation almost overnight. Though his career never quite reached those heights again, Lin's tale is a heartwarming example of an underdog making the most of his opportunity. Now we have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's journey to NBA stardom is nothing short of incredible. Even if he never became an NBA superstar, his life story is one that should be celebrated because of how he overcame adversity. Although Jimmy eventually forgave his biological parents later in life, he was originally abandoned by his father as an infant and kicked out by his mother as a teenager. Butler faced unbelievable hardships growing up. Thankfully, he was taken in by a friend's family, but his path ahead to the NBA was anything but straightforward.
I think it was hard. I had to grow up at a young age, and I had to be able to not really take care of myself. I had help, but I was on my own for the most part, and that's the way I felt.
Butler played junior college basketball before transferring to Marquette, where his hard-nosed play caught the attention of NBA scouts.
But I am saying that Jimmy Butler is the X factor in this game and for this team.
Jimmy Butler had no points in the first 13 minutes of the ball game. He's got 16 in the last 15 and a half.
Drafted 30th overall by the Chicago Bulls in 2011, Butler didn't make an immediate impact. But through sheer determination and an unrelenting work ethic, he transformed himself into a perennial all-star and one of the league's best two-way players. Butler's underdog spirit was on full display in the 2020 NBA playoffs, where he led the Miami Heat to the NBA Finals.
My love, a drive by Jimmy Butler. He'll cleave it in. Performance already with 11. Giannis has got 7. And just like that, the Heat down by 12, now trail.
Facing the heavily favored Los Angeles Lakers, Butler delivered 2 iconic triple-doubles, including a 40-point masterpiece in Game 3, solidifying his reputation as one of the league's fiercest competitors. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
My name is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
When were you born?
I was born in 1994.
Well, what club do you play for?
I play for Philadelphia Ghosts.
His story is one of the most remarkable in NBA history. There was a time when people couldn't even pronounce his name, and now he's one of the biggest stars of this generation. Giannis was born in Greece to Nigerian immigrants and immediately faced extreme poverty and often had to sell items on the street to help his family make ends meet. He didn't start playing organized basketball until his early teens, and even then, he was an unknown prospect. But over time, he refined his skills and showed that he had the stamina, intelligence, and strength to overtake his opponents on the court. The Milwaukee Bucks took a gamble on Giannis with the 15th pick of the 2013 NBA draft, fascinated by his raw talent and potential. They knew they'd have to guide and mold him, but they felt it was worth it.
In the 2013 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Giannis Antetokounmpo from Athens, Greece. He last played.
Spoiler alert, it was. What followed was a transformation unlike anything the league had seen. Giannis went from a skinny, unpolished teenager to a two-time MVP and NBA champion. His crowning moment came in the 2021 NBA Finals, where he delivered a historic 50-point performance in Game 6 to secure the Bucks' first title in 50 years. Giannis' journey from selling trinkets on the streets of Athens to hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy is a story of perseverance, humility, and greatness.
That'll do it. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended. After a half-century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA.
The NBA's underdog stories remind us why we love sports. They're about more than just talent. They're about heart, resilience, and the refusal to let others define your limits. These players didn't just overcome the odds, they redefined what's possible. Thank you for joining us for some of the NBA's best underdog stories. We know there's many more out there, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you get the latest content right when it drops. Until then, don't ever give up on yourself. We'll see you next time.